Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Dakota and Brandy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Dakota's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Brandy is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in her right hand. That leaves her left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Dakota is going to come home with her very own training equipment, and Brandy's going to discuss some other options with you tomorrow when you come to pick her up. Now she is sitting very nicely at Brandy's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Dakota heel. Now at this point Dakota has a job to do, and that is to match pace with you when walking, not forging ahead or lagging behind, but staying right next to your left leg. You will notice that if Brandy changes direction, she should do the same. If Dakota gets distracted and she's not looking up at Brandy, Brandy will give that little tug and release on the collar that we talked about earlier. And it was an automatic down. And Brandy's talking to her softly, encouraging her, trying to keep her focused on her. Nice automatic sits, so when you're walking with her and you stop walking, she sits automatically and waits for her next command. And one thing that you'll notice with her when you get her home is the more you work her, the more settled and calm she's going to be. Lots of heeling, lots of automatic sits. You can practice indoors as well as outdoors, but she has to know that you're in charge, and when she's on that leash, you're in charge. Brandy's going to give a really good lesson with you tomorrow. She's going to answer all your questions, discuss every kind of training option available. Now this time, the next exercise that Brandy's going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, you do not use her name.
Stay.
It's a firm one-word command. Your long sit-stay when you're practicing at home, practice indoors as well as outdoors. Start out at about 30 seconds and slowly work up to 3 minutes. When Brandy returns back to her, she walks counterclockwise all the way around her. Dakota remains seated till Brandy gets back to her shoulders, and at that point Brandy stops and gives Dakota another command. Now that's nice heeling right there, where she's paying attention, she's focused, she's looking up at Brandy for her next command, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for her to be focused on you and not to be looking at everything else that's going on around her, and be responsive to you when you give a command. Now Brandy has given her another stay, walked all the way out to the end of her training leash, and this time she's going to demonstrate the come on command. She lightens her tone of voice, and Dakota has been taught to come and sit and then return to heel and return back sitting. Now because she's a puppy and she's still under a year old, she can get distracted, and our job tomorrow is to teach you how to get her back when she is distracted. I mean, a bug flew by. That's what that's all about. And Brandy says to her, "Watch me." And she focused right back on Brandy, and Brandy will call her again. Very nice. Back to heel and back sitting. So she's got a ton of energy. So exercise, perhaps a dog walker for while you're at work long days, to wear her out a little bit. If you do hire a dog walker, make sure that they watch the video and they know what she knows. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. So with the dog seated first at your left open palm straight down toward the ground, and the one-word command to down and stay. As you can see, we did not break her spirit. She is still fresh. Still has the attention span of a fruit fly, but that's getting better. Brandy calls her out of that. Back to heel and back sitting. And she will demonstrate that down from a heel position again. And because she has the temperament of her breed, her natural instinct to guard, very strong for a 9-month-old girl. So we want to keep that under control now. So that you can keep her, because I know that she's been challenging. Brandy walks all the way around her, just as she did on the sit stay. Dakota remains lying down until Brandy gives her the next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you will be your down from a distance. This is a little bit harder command because you're not right next to her. So you're going to have her sit and stay. You turn to face her. When you start out, don't go too far away. Brandy's going to use her right hand to give the command and drop her into a down, and then she gives her another stay and backs further away. And as you practice with her, you're going to be able to walk out to the end of your leash to give that down command. And at this point, you can either return to her or you can call her. Comes and sits, and you can see that Brandy and her have bonded for sure. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Dakota's formal on-leash obedience commands. We've enjoyed having her, Elliot. She's been challenging, but she's come a very long way. We're going to answer any questions that you have tomorrow and try to make this transition back home as easy for you as possible. And we want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.